G'day folks, Puck here and welcome to another week of Pick'ems for the NFL on Sportscast. As always, we'll look at the upcoming week and see what my picks are and who I predict to win going into week 14 of the NFL. Before we do that though, just to have a quick squiz, shall we? 15-1 was the record, best record I've had this season going in for week 13. I only got the Bengals game wrong. I'm not going to touch them anymore. Overall record now is 128 for 67 and 88.2%. Can't wait. Let's get stuck into week 14. Just to note here, teams on the bye. Denver, Colts, New England, Washington, Baltimore, and Houston. So let's get stuck in. Packers, Lions, no doubt about it. Look, for the Packers, Jair Alexander, Romeo Dobbs, and Edgerrin Cooper have been ruled out going into tomorrow night's game against the Lions. Lions heavily picked, as you can see down here. But I always go for the Packers. And look, this time last year in the reverse game, Packers went into Ford Field and showed the Lions that they're not always going to go undefeated. They're capable of losing to a division rival. Packers definitely on the improvement since the last game. And the last time they met at Lambeau, and even though the Lions came away with the win, the scoreline didn't reflect the game really. It was a lot closer than the scoreline reflected. And I do think the Packers, I always pick them, but I think the Packers do have a chance here against the Lions, who are struggling with some injuries at the moment, and as well as some other issues. So, divisional game, go Pack, go, always, anyway. So I pick the Packers to win. Jags, Titans, yeah, look, Titans came off a big loss against the Commanders last week. But the thing is here, Trevor Lawrence, obviously, after taking that massive cheap shot hit last week against the Texans, Trevor Lawrence has been placed on IR from concussion protocol, and so it's likely his season's over. Mac Jones has been listed as the starting quarterback for the Jags, though I do think the Titans are still going to have enough about them to pick up the win here and at home as well. They've looked a lot better anyway going the last few weeks. Jets, Dolphins, well look, the Jets, they threw away the game against the Seahawks. No surprises there. I really don't know what to make of them. I can't trust them anyway. Dolphins at home, even though they lost last week in the cold weather at Lambeau, back home in the nice warm sun, Dolphins easy. I think it's just going to be a complete domination here for the Dolphins if I'm correct about it. Falcons, Vikings. Now, as much as I'd like the Vikings to lose, because obviously divisional game, divisional rival with the Packers, I think the Vikings will definitely have enough about them. I can't make here or there of the Falcons. As you can see, they've got a 6-6 record that kind of says it all. And Cousins is just not doing the job this season. Interesting, just like Rodgers, both quarterbacks coming off a Achilles injury last season. So is that anything to do with it? I'll say no, but who knows? Age, Achilles injuries, interesting. But yeah, I can't trust the Falcons. Giants, Saints. The Saints have looked a lot better going forward here, and since the interim head coach was appointed, over a month, maybe 6 weeks ago now, feels like it. Just don't see the Giants winning this game anyway. They have announced that the quarterback Drew Lock will be starting on Sunday against the Saints, though. So that's his second game, because he did start against the Cowboys in the loss there last week. But Saints to win this one. Eagles over Panthers. Eagles. They had a good win over the Ravens. They're coming right together at the right time. Good record, 10-2 record, obviously, and at home. Now the Panthers have made some real improvements, obviously. Unlucky against the Buccaneers last week to lose in overtime, but I think the Eagles just have enough about them at home. Same thing with the Steelers. Now the Steelers, a bit of a revenge game. It's a divisional game here 3 weeks ago. Steelers did lose, in my opinion. They lost a game I thought they would win against the Browns in Cleveland there. But I think on this return match, Steelers are going to have a little bit of a revenge there. But I think in Steelers, it's just going to be a different story. The Steelers will be up for this and to win this game. And yeah, even though the Browns have looked okay, Mr. Pick 6, Jameis is picking the Sixers. I think he will struggle here against the Steelers because there's no snow to enjoy. Buccaneers, Raiders, Buccaneers at home. I can't go past them. They did get lucky last week winning in overtime against the Panthers. But I think at home it's a bit different story here. And yeah, the Raiders aren't really anything to write home about as well. So easy pick, Buccaneers. Cardinals, Seahawks. The Seahawks came from behind to beat the Jets. And this is a big, hard-fought divisional game. Cardinals only just losing to the Vikings by a point last week as well. And look, you can see 50-50 in terms of people picking either team. It's a divisional game. I'm going to go for the Cardinals on this one because they are at home. I think they're slightly better. I think they can improve on what they did have shown the last couple of weeks overall. But who knows? Seahawks, yeah, divisional game is always going to be tough. 7-5 Seahawks against the 6-6 Cardinals. Cardinals currently second in the division, but a win here for Cardinals certainly will help their odds. Bills, Rams. Look, it's a no-brainer for me. Now the Bills, obviously a short week for them really, coming off the Sunday night football game. But they looked really, really impressive against the 49ers. You can say, yeah, the 49ers were injured and everything else. But look, you got to play the team that's in front of you. And in the snow, they just loved it. The Bills just looked great. And what do you expect? Anything but Bills, even though they're on the road. It will be a tough game. I don't think the Bills are going to have an easy go of it. But I just think the Bills will have enough about them here to win. Bears, 49ers. I'm actually going to pick the 49ers here. You may call me crazy. I know CMC is now out, obviously, with a knee injury for the rest of the season, which sucks. But they still got their quarterback, Brock Purdy. I'd like to see some more of George Kittle because I noticed in the last game, maybe it was just me, he went missing. No, I don't think that was on purpose. I think he was expected to do a lot more of the blocking and, protection work up front last week. But they need to use him more, especially when they lost Kittle CMC last week. Halfway through that game against the Bills, I thought they might see a little bit more of Kittle, and we really didn't. He was one reception for 7 yards. There's pretty much his productivity. But I still think the Bears are the Bears. Now, of course, they've sacked their head coach. They've got an interim head coach there at the moment, but I don't think that's going to make a difference on the road. Caleb has looked a lot better. I think he'll be a lot more of a threat, but I think overall at home, I'm going to just say the 49ers might squeak this. Chargers, Chiefs. Look, I'm actually going to... I am tempted to go for Chargers here, but I'm actually going to go for the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are just going to keep their chiefing going. Winning ugly. Again, they won ugly last week as well. 11-1. I think at home is probably the difference for me. If I think that the Chargers were at home, I would probably have gone for the Chargers. I think the Chargers definitely are a lot better team than previous seasons. But the Chiefs are just the Chiefs, and I think they'll get it done somehow. Don't know how, but some way they'll find a way. Cowboys, Bengals. Lord. Yeah, Cowboys had a win last week. Wow. Okay. Yeah, hey, the Giants. Bengals, I picked them last week. They let me down. They've got an awesome offense, but the defense just doesn't turn up. It's not there. But they're against the Cowboys. There's a part of me that's saying, do I trust in the Bengals one more time on the road to get the job done against the Cowboys? Offensively, I think they'll run all over the Cowboys. But defensively, I think they'll struggle, even though the Cowboys aren't going to be all that on offense as well. I said this last week, they let me down. I don't know if I can trust on them, but I'm picking them. I think last chance. I think the Bengals... I just hope the defense comes to it. And I think the chance here for the Bengals is the fact that the Cowboys' offense isn't the best either. I think might play in the hands of the Bengals. So that is it, folks. Just showing you there. And again, Bengals to win, Chiefs to win, 49ers to win, Bills to win. I've picked the Cardinals and the Buccaneers, Steelers, Eagles, Saints, Vikings, Dolphins, Titans, and of course, go Pack, go. That is my Week 14 pick'ems for the NFL. Let me know down below what you think of these picks. Do you agree? Do you disagree? How have your picks gone, whether it's for pick'ems or something else? Let me know down below in the comments. Thanks for all those watching. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here and hit that like button. As always, I will see you for Thursday night football, Packers and Lions. Till then, take care of yourselves and each other. I am Parkera. This has been Sportscast Pick'ems for week 14. Kia kaha.